Greetings, I'm Bairnt and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Today we're going to continue our playthrough of Folklore, the Affliction. We are in Story Journal 4. We're going through the first chapter in that story. We're moving into the second part of this, so this will be really exciting. This time we're actually going on a manhunt. Maybe we're going to chase down that unpainted miniature from the first video. That'd be fantastic. There's a couple of things I want to go over before we actually start the playthrough. First, this video is going to be shown not only on the One Stop Co-op Shop, but also at Meet Me at the Table. So if you're looking at either one, that's a great place to find this video. The other thing is I want to thank everybody in the comment section for giving me some great names for our characters. We do have them all set to go. Also, I didn't even notice this. I had been given the wrong items to the wrong people. These should have been put on two different people, but I put them on the wrong people. It really didn't matter too much because they actually both do the same amount of damage. Of course, this one could have exhausted to use it for the different character, but it's not the end of the world. It didn't even work anyway. So we're going to be moving into our second play. This is going to be fantastic. I hope you're excited to come on this journey. And if you are, then I need you to meet me at the co-op shop. Before we see what we're going to be doing, I do want to show off our characters because a lot happened in our last videos. We still have our same setup that we had at the end, though we have to remember this is the Magus, and the Magus is deranged. So he can use no abilities that require power points, and I save awareness. Well, I need to actually go to town to actually deal with this. Once you actually get this token, the only way to get rid of it is through some of the town abilities. I think you have to go to the doctor. We'll look at that when we get to go to the town. He did find a glaive that gives him a flank and range 2, and look, he's rolling a d6 now. And this is two-handed. One of the rules about two-handed weapons that I have to remember is when you roll for damage, you get to roll 2 dice and pick the one you want. Of course, he still has this in his backpack, and now I'm going to give him the correct weapon. He was the one that was supposed to have this weapon. We'll put that in his backpack as well. And we have our character sheet now all set up. This is going to be Kenzo. Thank you so much for the name. We have wrote all the stats down here, all his skills here. He has 29 gold and 50 lore. We're going to keep track of that. And whenever we get to a certain lore threshold, we're going to be able to level our characters up. For the Magus, we're going to need 100 lore, and then he can either A, gain 1 new skill, or 2, gain 2 max vita. He has 2 different choices. Once we get to 200 though, we are going to have to do the one that is for ourselves, which is the Stargazer. One-hand weapon attacks gain the arcing keyword, and at that point we might want to give that glaive to another character, maybe the Druidus or something. That is our that's our Magus. He does have 10 vita and he still has 2 power points, which he can't do anything with because he's cost power points to activate, and he's deranged. He does have a couple of consumables up here, and I've used this. Of course, we'll go on to our initiative track once we start playing with that. Next, we have our maiden here, our Viper Maiden. She is going to be named Asp. Thank you so much for the name. That's a fantastic name for a Viper Maiden. Why not, right? Asp, very dangerous. You go first. Here we have all our stats. She also has 25 gold and 35 lore, so she's getting close. She has 17 power vita and 5 power points. She didn't use any, though I do have to remember she does have a really cool ability that we can use at the beginning of any combat, where she's able to spend 2 power points to gain 2 corrosion tokens, and then I can place them on the target when hit with an attack. Though, of course, they will be gone if they're not spent. We didn't use any last time, so maybe it's something we might think about. We are also going to give her the correct weapon as well, but we're going to stick it in her backpack for now because we are going to start with our bow. The last person we have is our Druidus. She is going to be named Tala. Thank you again for the name. Here are her stats. She has 25 coins and she has 43 lore. So we're getting close to some of these level ups. She has everything she had before. We did use our prayer in the last play, so I don't have that, but she still has her boon that allows her to take an additional move. She's starting with 14 vita and 0 power points. In between missions, unless it tells you otherwise, you do not reset your stuff. It is a persistent game, just like a normal kind of RPG game. Once you're done out of a dungeon, you don't just get to reveal yourself unless you take a long rest or something, or go back to a town and heal up. So that is our characters. They're all set to go. Let's take a look at our story. But before we do, she was our leader in the last playthrough. I'm going to pass this over to our Viper Maiden. When we move into a new map, transition to a new map location or the next chapter in the story, you have to pass that. Also, if you're on the main map, every time you go to a new character, a new movement, you're also going to switch this as well when you're on the overworld map. So our Viper Maiden is now going to be the leader. Also, before we start, the Magus does have this power. I'm not going to forget it this time. Once per chapter, you may spend 1 power point to create a world event. If world event is already in play, this replaces it for the chapter. These events apply only to characters. Roll d6 and determine the event that occurs. Now, he is deranged, so I'm not sure I can use it, but honestly, we didn't get a chance to use it in the last playthrough, so I really want to use this, so I know I'm probably not supposed to be able to do it, but we're just going to do it because it's going to be fun, and we didn't get a chance to use it last time. So we're going to roll a d6 and see what happens. Let's roll it right here on our player mat. We got a 3. So right here it says solid fermentation. Ignore ethereal absorption. We'll have to remember that. Let's see if I do. Hopefully, this might not even come into play. We'll see how it goes. If it doesn't, then that means it didn't really matter that I couldn't use the PowerPoint anyway. We're going to use this. We have solid fermentation in play for this chapter. Moving into chapter 2, I didn't show this in the first video. Each chapter has its own skirmish table. So when you're randomly having to skirmish against something, these would be the 2 enemies we would be skirmishing against. But we're going to be moving into chapter 2, Manhunt. Spent for the night, you head to rest at the Inn of the Bending Reed. You discuss the strange assailant and what his motivation for attacking you could have been. This is not the first time you have come across those cursed with madness. Whatever his agenda, the anatomist must be stopped before more fall prey to his macrobee mechanicians. These are parts in the storybook that come up quite often. They're just attention. They bring out what you need to be doing and make sure you follow these. It says all characters receive a free rest at an inn. See town services card, inn, sleep. Let's do it. As the book instructs, we have our town services up here, and look at all these town services we could take advantage of. It's double-sided. That's what's so cool about this game. Every time you go to a town, you can do so many different things. Of course, you're limited by how many things you can do based on the town size. Right now, we're right here. We can do 3 services per visit, but this is not just going to town to do these services. We were instructed by the book to only be able to do one of them, and that was sleep. So right down here, it says sleep. Recover all power points and gain 3 Vita once per visit. So all of our characters are going to go back up to max Vita. She is already at max, so she's going to gain 3 though, so she's going to go back up to 20, which is pretty good. Now sadly, our other characters are a little bit worse for wear. We're going to go to 17 for her, but she does get all 5 of her power points back, which is really good because she has that really neat electric power. That was really cool. That was the blinding lightning here, the call lightning. That's so good. And then we also are going to gain 3 for our Magus as well. 1, 2, 3, and he's going to gain all of his as well, but he's not really going to be able to use them because he's still deranged. And sadly, the only way to get rid of deranged is on the back of this card. We can go to the physician here, and for 15 coins, I could cure, remove fractured, deranged, and sickened. Now, the one thing I'm not sure about, I think we still have to pay to do this, because it does say all characters, oh, we receive a free one. It says free. So I don't have to pay the 10 to sleep at the inn. Let's continue in the story. Well, look at this. If I would have just read a little bit farther, it says use town services for Eurotrust. So we're going to get a chance to use these. Also, there's an attention brought here. It says draw a town event thoroughfare. See town event cards on page 9 for more information. Here's our town event deck. It is a massive deck of cards. I've gone ahead and given them a good old truffle shuffle so they're all set. The way these work is as you travel to different parts of the town, you have a chance of encountering a town event. And these go up based on how many different places you go. If you do not meet one on your first visit to a certain area of the town and you have 3 potential ones like you do in Eurotrust, right here we can visit 3 services. And every time we go to a new one, you have to add 1 to the roll. And if you actually roll a 8+ inside the particular town of Eurotrust, you're going to draw a town event. And based on where you go, you're either going to be drawing a thoroughfare or a back alley event. Now, we had to draw one automatically and was a thoroughfare event, so we're going to draw this top card and read this. And our leader right now is the Magus. So let's see what befalls our team. It says right here, toasted. Usually the scent of fresh bread would draw a crowd to the bakery, but today the shop is silent, door ajar. A random character must pass a nerve 6 test. To find out randomly who's going to get this test, we'll roll 3 dice. The black one's the Magus, the blue one will be our Viper Maiden, and then we have our Druidess as the orange one. Let's see what we get. It's going to be our Magus. Our Magus is going to take a 6 nerve test. Now, none of our characters have any bonuses towards nerve. And I need to get a 6 or better. Yes, I got a 10. So we're going to read our card, Toasted. It says, success. You find the bakers in an unnatural slumber. You awake them if all characters gain D4 Vita. Oh, that's going to be perfect. We'll take our super awesome four-sider that confuses everybody because the number's on the top. Normally, the four-siders put the number you're reading on the bottom. Our Magus is going to gain 2 health. We'll bring up his Vita to a 15. Next, we're going to do our Viper Maiden. Our Viper Maiden actually only needs 1 because her max Vita is 21. And lastly, we have our Druidess. Our Druidess, is going to gain 1. That's sad. She will go up to 18 from 17. That's the end of that town event. Now that we've completed our town event, we will use our town services. That was confirmed by Julie that we do use these town services, but you have to make sure you do anything that interrupts it before you continue on. So we did have to do this town event. Now we get to use the town services, and we potentially could get some new town events as well, depending on how we roll inside our town services. The first town service we are going to perform is we are going to send our people to the physician because I need to get rid of this deranged status here. So I'm going to pay 15 coins with our Magus here to remove this because this is absolutely crippling. I'm getting rid of that. It's going to cost us 15. Also, if we look on these, we can do stitches. I'm going to send my Druidess over there to get stitches. She can pay 1 coin to restore 1 Vita for every coin spent. So she is at 18, 19, 20, 21. She's not too far off, but that's going to put me at max. I'm going to spend 3 coins for that. Let's see what else we can do at the physician, because I think I'm going to send them all there. Treat infection. I don't have an infection token. Bring out the dead, or I can get bandages. I can gain 1 item token per visit. I'm going to visit there with our Viper Maiden to grab another bandage token. Since there's no limit to the amount of stuff you can do in a location, I'm also going to have our Magus get stitched up. So he's going to be underranged and get stitched up. So he's actually going to be paying 21 in order to get himself back to full. We're going to tick this up to 21. That's going to bring his Vita to max. He's going to have paid 15 for that and 6 more. So he's down 21, and our Viper Maiden paid 5, and the Druidess has paid 3. That brings our coin values down to 8, 22, and 20 from our respected characters, Kenzo, Tala, and Asp. We'll now have to figure out which would be another town service we might want to do. But first we have to roll a d10 to see if we have a story event. And since we are in Eurotusk, we need an 8+ to have a story event. We got a 5, so we did not get a story event going to the physician. We will be adding 1 to it if we decide to go someplace else. The next one I think we're going to do is I am going to send our Viper Maiden to the inn, and I'm going to send the other 2 to the market, and we're going to barter. It says draw 1 item per visit and purchase it if you wish. You may sell items for half their cost. So we're going to take this card and bring it with us. We're going to bring that card, and I think we're going to sell it. I don't know how many nature creatures we're going to get, but we're going to get 10 gold for that, which is going to be awesome. We're going to draw a random item. Remember that huge giant stack of items here? We'll get a good old cut here a couple times. It's hard to shuffle this deck, so we're just going to cut it a couple times and grab the top card. We have found in Aragon Round, I can buy it for 25, and it gives me +5 defense, and I can exhaust this for the encounter to make a foe re-roll an attack against you. Now this is 25 coins. We could buy this, and I think we're going to. It doesn't say that a person can't use it, and I'm going to sell this for 10, meaning I only need to pay 15 coins to get that, and I think we're going to give it to our Druidess. That's not a bad idea. She now has 7 gold, and she now has a new shield. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that. The Magus has a 2-handed weapon, and so does Asp, so we're not going to give them to him. I'm going to return this to my item deck, and we're now going to roll again to see if we have a town event that we have to take care of. Let's see how this goes. Oh, I have to get my rumor first. I'm going to the inn to get a rumor. That's right. This is our giant deck of rumors. I believe it was part of the second Kickstarter. I don't exactly remember, but we have our draw card on top. We're just going to pull the one right out from underneath it and see what it says here. We have stained glass. There are rumors of things that live beneath the surface, in the sewers. These denizens from the bowels of the earth have come up to steal surface dwellers. One such man is the stained glass window maker, Master Andrews. He's disappeared near the catacombs below the church while working on a new creation. You must remain in this town to complete this rumor, or discard it if you're unable to choose not to. Then we have to see the map on the back of this card. The oozes are shown are inactive, asleep for now. We have to rescue all the captives. At the start of every round, roll a d10, and if you move adjacent to an ooze, roll a d6. If you move into a sewer water, pass an ecology 5 or gain an infection token. Wow, this totally sounds exactly what's happening to us right now. So we have this rumor that I must remain in this town in order to complete this rumor. I can choose to do it at any time. So let's continue with our adventure, and maybe before we go into the next part, we might want to try to do this. But right now, we're already going into the sewers. Having gained our rumor, we are now going to roll our d10 to see if we have a town event. We'll roll up. We have a 5. I have to add 1 to 6. That's not an 8 or higher, so we do not have an event. And at this point, I don't think there's anything else we're going to do in this town. We don't have a lot of money. We just started the game. So we're going to move into the rest of the story. I've given everybody 8 lore, and here's our blue story marker. I'm just going to place it with the Viper Maiden, Ash. Also, after we completed our story card, I should have passed this token. According to the way the town event cards work, you pass this after each one. So this is going to now be passed to the Magus. Our deranged Magus is now leading us into the sewer. I guess that's kind of fitting. Consulting the city watchman, they inform you that while there was a disturbance in the night, this time there wasn't a disappearance. A loud grating sound was heard down an alley near the infirmary. With this information, you investigate the area. At this point, I'm going to have to do a story skill check using an awareness 5, and I can choose any one of my characters for this, thank goodness, because Asp, our Viper Maiden, does have +2 awareness for this skill. So I'm only going to need an awareness of 3. I'm only going to roll 3 or higher. Of course, if we're playing on Nightmare mode, I would be adding 2. Can you find clues to the source of the reported disturbance? We will find out. I'll be rolling my red skill check die. I did actually find the red skill check die. Before I didn't roll it because I didn't know where it was. I found it in my Kingdom Death box. We're going to roll this up and see how it goes. We got a 9, so that will mean that we were able to pass that. And we're going to read our story moment 40 on page 61. You thoroughly search the scene of the disturbance and discover a trail of blood leading to a sewer grate. Its lid askew. Did the attacker disappear into the sewer system? It is obvious that he was hurt during your confrontation. Perhaps you will have an easier time with him should you cross paths again. We're going to gain the blue story marker, and all characters gain lore 8. You now suspect that your assailant may have descended beneath the city in an attempt to evade capture. Although you do not relish wading through the town sewage, it appears there is no other choice. Here we have another attention, so we have to do this. It says if you're playing with 2 characters, we're going to be adding a watchman character to your group, but we have 3, so we're going to ignore this. You descend into the sewers. The smell of excrement turns your stomach and threatens to make you vomit. Here's another attention. All characters must pass an ecology 4 or gain an infection token. And any character moving into green sewer water must pass an ecology 5 or gain an infection token. Whenever you move into a space filled with sewer water, your movement is going to end. Now, if the group possesses the green story marker, which we do not, we're going to read story moment 54 on page 62. The only one we have is the blue one at this present time. We'll roll up our ecology test, and again, we will use these dice. This will be the Druidus, the Magus, and the Viper Maiden. Let's see how we do. Oh, the Magus is in big trouble. These infection tokens are absolutely terrible. I'm going to place it right here. If at any point I have 4 infection tokens, I have to discard all the infection tokens and lower my max vita by 1, meaning I would only have 20 total with this character. So we don't want any more of those tokens. The trail of blood smears, old and new, continues into the sewer. This must be how the attacker is moving his abductees from the city streets. But where is he taking them? Surely this cannot be the lair of any sane person. We'll set up our map now. This is what our map is going to look like. We'll be starting down here, and we'll be trying to get to this exit up here. There will be some things we're going to have to deal with as well. And let's check out our goals. Our primary goal is to check the #1 map skill area with a trickery 6. A rusted steel portcullis blocks further progress into the sewers. Can you open it? We'll find out when we get there. The other primary goal is to check out the dead body, and if we have a green story marker, reread one story moment. If we don't, reread a different story moment. Now there are some optional goals. We can investigate all the search locations. The first one is going to be skill check 2 with awareness 3. The other ones will be found right here, those 2 search locations. Here are the other ones. This is our primary, and this is the extra one that we had with that awareness 3. Here's the dead body. We'll place our characters out. We'll put the Magus right here. We'll put our Viper Maiden here and our Druidess right there. I'm not putting anybody in the green goo, and my goal is not to step in the green goo, but I do want to check this out, so somebody might have to go in there. But lucky for us, she has a great ecology skill. I have our initiative board over here, so we have to set that up as well. Here's our initiative deck. We're going to give it a good old truffle shuffle here, and then we're going to draw a card and see which one it is. We have this one. It says number 3, as above, but 2 Vita. Okay, so this one as above. Okay. Recover 1 Vita at the start of your turn if foes are present. For 3 characters as above, but 2, that's really good. I'm going to place that right there, and let's see where that is going to fall on the track. We'll roll up our D10. It's going to fall on number 7 right here. So we'll place that there, and we'll place the other C marker on the card, notifying that that's what it is. We're also going to grab a foe tactics card. I don't know if any foes are going to be on this map, but just because we can, we're going to draw one, and we'll place it out there. We've got this one, Frenzy. All right, we'll put that right there. Let's see where that falls on the track. That Frenzy card is going to be on number 3. I love it when they get low numbers, because then if they're low, that means we're going first, most likely. We'll put our token there, and we'll put our other marker right up there next to the card, so we know when they find it, that's where they are. We have to get our standees and place them out on the initiative track. We'll roll our Druidess first. 7. Oh my gosh, she starts right on it. That's perfect. She's like the super person to find the stuff. We're going to put our Viper Maiden next. She got a 4. And then we've got our Magus, who is going first, but I don't think he's going to be doing too much. He's just going to be running down here and grabbing this token because I'm not making him walk over. He's already got 1 infection token. We're ready to start. Our Magus is going to go first. He's just going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Closer to that marker. That's fantastic. He can do that. Next, we're going to use our Viper Maiden. She is going to... Oh, no. It's going to be our Druidess next. I apologize. She's going to move 1, 2... or 1, 2, because this extends into this. I can't go across it. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think she has a 5 stride. And with that extra movement, she will move into this area here, which is going to not be the greatest, and we're going to interact with that. But first, we have to take an ecology test. We have to pass an ecology 5 test. I get to add 2 to this roll. Let's see how it goes. I got a 7 plus 2 is 9. We're totally fine. At this point now, I'm going to interact with our objective, and I am going to check this out. This is our secondary objective. Let's see what's there. It's an awareness 3. I don't get any additional to this because she doesn't have any bonuses to her awareness. I got a 6, so we did pass it. Let's check it out. There's a reflective object in the pool. What could it be? I was successful, so I'm going to receive an item. Then I'm going to read story moment 118 on page 66. We're going to grab the top card off the item deck and see what we have found. We have found a straight razor. It gets razor 1. It's a one-handed weapon. It does D4 plus 1. I think we're going to put this on her. I'm going to switch this out. Well, I might have to put it in the backpack for now, but we can switch it out at the end of her turn here after we read our story moment. But that's a better weapon than this. It's only 1 through 4. It does do plus 2 damage versus nature foes. So if we fight a nature foe, I might want to bring it back out. But this one always gets plus 1, which is so good. You remove an item from the pool. Receive an item. So we already did that. A tendril of slime clings to it, then moves towards your outstretched hand. Encounter 2 oozes for 2 to 3 characters, or 3 oozes for 4 to 5 characters, which appear adjacent to your character. Oh no, this is terrible. Here's our ooze card, and I don't think he's going to be worth that razor that we found. We're going to put a faux orange thing here. We'll put a purple one over here so we can put them out on that initiative track. They have a total of 23 health. They do get plus 3 when fighting against us. I think I missed that in the last video. One of the characters, I think, had an extra might that they should have used, and I totally forgot. They do have 49 defense. So we have like a 50-50 chance of hitting these things. They have a 4 stride. We do get 20 lore and 6 coins if we defeat them. They are melee. Now, they do have a special power here called receives absorption 1 against range attacks. When the ooze is hit in melee combat, the attacker gains an infection token if their power die is 1. Terrible. I'm not a big fan of infection tokens. Of course, we have their powers over here that we'll see play out as we fight them. We'll roll up where our two oozes are going to go. The orange one is going to be orange, of course. Let's see how this goes. We got an 8 and a 3. So the purple one's going to go on 3. And check this out. He's going to stay right there. He's got this frenzy ability here now. And it says, +2 stride. All foes in Aura 2 lose 1 Vita if you successfully hit. Okay, we don't have the Midnight or Nightmare we have to do. So we're going to lose an extra Vita if he hits us. The orange one is going to go up on 8, which means he'll be moving right after our Magus. The order of operations when it comes to people in the same square is first afflictions go, then characters, then foes. And if our characters were in darkness, we would go then. So if these characters were in darkness, it'd be afflictions, foes, then characters in darkness. But since we're not in darkness, it's characters, or afflictions, characters, and then foes. So we've placed them out there. We're going to go get our miniatures and put them on the board. We'll place both of our slimes right here. There they are. You got them all painted up. They're kind of blue and yucky and yuck. There we go. Put them right there. Now this one is going to be our orange one. This one will be our purple one. And now at this point, if I'm doing this right, awesome. If I'm not, please let me know in the comments below. We've already moved with these two characters. I believe it's now going to be our Viper Maiden is going to go next, which means then our purple foe is going to activate. Unless it restarts when combat begins. If it does, then I'm doing this wrong, and please let me know. We're going to have her move. She's going to move, I think she'll move 1, 2, 3 to right here, and then she can fire her bow at this point. We'll tick down 1 ammo on the bow here and roll our dice and see how it goes. We got a 39. Now remember, they have a 45 in order to hit them, but she gets to add +11. She gets +5 might from this bow, and she has an innate +6. So 39 + 11 is going to be 50. So that's enough to hit these things. Let's roll our dice and see how much damage we do against these slimes. We got a 3. Now, it does get +1, so it's going to be 4. Sadly, they have absorption 1, which means they're going to be able to soak up 1 of these wounds from this bow. So it's only going to do 3 damage. We're going to go after our purple one. Our purple one is at 23. We're going to go down to 20 on that purple slime there. At this point, our purple one will now attack, and it's going to go after the Druidess, and it's sitting here, of course, at this area next to its flag, so it's going to gain this extra ability that states, +2 stride, all 4 foes in Aura 2 lose 1 Vita if you successfully hit. So Aura 2 is going to affect everything around it and 1 more space, so she's just outside of Aura 2. Yeah, I did that by accident. That's pretty awesome. But she's going to get affected by this, so if it hits, it's going to do an extra 2 damage. Let's go ahead and roll it up. This gets +3 to attack. It's going to need a 36, but I get to add 5. So that's going to be, 34 + 5 is 39, but -3, it needs a 36 to hit. Let's see how it does. It got a 64. So its power die is going to be 4 Acid Pummel. The ooze forms into a large fist and strikes you true. Lose 2 vitality and receive a corrosion token on an attack roll of 80+. It was not an 80+, it was only a 64 only. So I'm going to take 2 damage. We'll grab our Druidess here, and she's going to go down to 19. So, but she doesn't get a corrosion token, which is way better. Oh my gosh, corrosion tokens are terrible. We'll move back to the top of the round and go with our Magus. Sadly, our Magus is way out of the fight. If I were to move here, though, I'm going to have to stop my movement. I can't get into this fight. It's going to be 2 turns. So you know what? I'm just going to hope they got those 2 to their best. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe he'll come back later, and he's going to investigate this right here. We'll roll up a die and see what he gets. We're going to roll a D10. Hopefully get something good. We got a 7. Which sadly doesn't do anything for us. That's too bad. We'll move into our next character, which is now going to be the Druidess. The Druidess is attempting to hit with her Silver Sickle. I think that's what we're going to do. Now, she does get to take advantage of her ability that she's standing on right here, which states, cover 1 Vita at the start of your turn if foes are present, but since there's 3 characters, I'm going to recover 2. That's fantastic. She's going to go back up to 21. So, haha, ooze, that little punch didn't do anything. We'll use our Silver Sickle, and the Silver Sickle gets +2 damage against nature foes. Well, sadly, this is not a nature foe. I know this because of the symbol right up here. That symbol is Shapeshifter. We'll roll up our dice, see how we do. We need a 49. Let's see how that goes. We got a 75. That's fantastic. So we did hit, and we're going to do D4 damage. And since I'm adjacent, if I would have rolled a 1 on the power die, I would have had an infection token. But that didn't happen, so let's roll it up. We got 1. We did 1. So we're going to take the dial and flip it down to 19, so we're getting closer to the end. Not really that close. That's the end of her turn. We'll move into the yellow slime's turn, so we'll remove all these dice and we'll just roll up and see how he does. Now the silver sickle's gone. At the end of her turn, she is going to switch weapons. She's going to change out her silver sickle for that straight razor because it's going to be a better weapon to use. It gets +1 damage. And now I could put a weapon in each hand and I could attack with each weapon, but you only get to attack once for free. Then you have to spend a power point to do another attack with another weapon. So you could attack twice with weapons if you wish to. We'll go to the ooze. We'll attack the Druidess she's standing right next to and see how it goes. I got a 50. Oh no, a 0 is terrible. The ooze engulfs you. Remove the ooze from the map and place it on the character card. See ooze engulf rule in the rule book for details. Already engulfed, use acid pummel. You know what? I don't want to deal with that, so I'm going to use my card here. It says exhaust for the encounter to make the foe reroll an attack roll against you. We are going to do that. We're going to exhaust that shield because I don't want to get engulfed. That sounds like a terrible plan. 88. It's probably going to be equally bad. We're going to get replication. The creature vibrates harmonically, causing your eardrums to shatter. Oh, wow, that's terrible. All characters in Aura 2 lose 2 Vita, and the ooze seems to grow in size, gaining 4 Vita. Oh no, this is terrible. I don't think we're ever going to take these guys down. So this Vita thing's going to go back up to, what, 24? I think that's what it is. It's at 18 now. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. No, it's going to go to 22. That's terrible. So here it is sitting at 22. I think it's, this is horrible. These things are never going to die. That's the end of that yellow ooze. Now we're going to go on to our purple ooze. Oh, the yellow ooze. So the yellow ooze is actually going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's at 26. This one's still going to remain at 18. I almost did that wrong because of the... because I'm using the wrong one. We'll move on to our Asp's turn. Asp is going to use that bow. She's going to fire this bow down to 1, and we'll see how this goes. She's going to roll up the dice. She does get plus like 11 to this roll. She got a 98. Now, sadly, she doesn't get anything extra. She gets way powerful attacks. It'd be really cool if she did, but she doesn't. She's going to roll a d4 for damage, though. She did 2 plus 1 is 3 minus 1 is 2 again, and we're going to keep on shooting that same one. So this one's going to go down to 16 Vita. Now that one is going to attack against our Druidess here. So we'll roll those dice up and see how it goes. It got an 18. It totally missed. Oh, I'm loving the fact that this purple one can't hit. Seeing that this is going to be a long combat, our Magus is going to come back into the fray, and he's going to have to roll against his ecology here. And he got a 1, so you know what that means. He gets another corruption token. He's up to 2 corruption tokens. We'll place that down on his mat. That's the end of his turn, and now we're going to roll for our orange one that is going to attack our Druidess. We'll see what this ooze does to us. Hopefully nothing. 59. Well, again, it didn't engulf us, but it's going to replicate again. Wow, that one's going to be out of control. He's going to gain 4 more Vita. It's up to 30 Vita. This is ridiculous, and I have to lose 2 Vita. I forgot to do that. I have to have my Druidess lose a total of 4 Vita, but she's going to gain 2 back. So we're going to go down to 19 on her Vita wheel here. She's supposed to lose a total of 4, 2 from the last one and 2 for this one, but I'm going to gain 2 back because of my battle tactics card here, my battle recovery, because we're going to be moving into her turn now, and she's going to attack with that razor this time. We'll see how this goes. We'll roll these dice up and see what we get. We need a big number. We got 5. 5 does not hit. That's sad. That's so sad. So we have only 1 shot left with our bow for this combat. We'll roll that up and see how it goes. Come on, I need a big number. 8. Again, 8 is not a big number. That's too bad for her. She got an 8. We'll roll now for the purple tentacle monster here. Let's see how that goes. Hopefully he rolls an 8 too. I'd like to see him roll. He roll a 30. 30 is not enough for him. I do get to add 3. That brings it to 33, but I've got more than that on my Druidess, so he also missed. Wow, everybody's missing. That's fantastic. We'll move back into the top of the round. And our Magus needs to get going. 1, 2, 3, 4. He needs to get on his high horse and go help out our team. I lied. He's not going to go that way. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a better plan for him. We're now getting attacked by the orange ooze, and again, the Druidess is the closest one to him, so he's going to melee attack her. And I got an 82. It's going to do that acidic pommel again, which means I'm going to lose 2 Vita, but check this out. It's an 82. That's enough to give myself a corrosion token. Our Druidess now has one of these as well. I don't like corrosion tokens. We got to get rid of these. And I'm going to take 2 damage from that attack, but then I'm going to gain the 2 right back because of my battle recovery. So we're not going to take any damage from that, though now we get to attack with her. And we're going to start by using our Call to Lightning. I'm going to lower my power points by 2, bringing them to 3. I'm sick of these oozes. We're going to lower them down to 3 and attack with this. I get to roll a d6 plus 2 Vita. I need to roll a big 6. Come on, a big 6. I got a 4. That's fine. That is 6 damage. We're going to tick that down. I'm going to go down to 10 damage on this ooze here. So the purple ooze is slowly losing life, which is great. Now that's not my attack. That's just, I can use abilities without using that as my activation. So now I'm going to attack with my razor here. We'll see how that goes. I need to roll this up and I need to get a big number. Let's see what number I got. I got a 46 and I get to add 4 to this because that's her innate might. So I get a total of 50. That does hit. I'm going to do D4 plus 1 damage to this thing. Let's see how we do. I did 4 plus 1 is 5 and I get an innate damage of plus 1. I forgot that with my other characters. I have to remember to keep doing that. So I did a total of 5 damage to with this weapon. So this goes down to a total of 5. Also, our straight edge causes razor 1, so I'm going to put a die up here for a 4. That means that every turn this activates, it's going to lose 1 damage. I don't think it's going to matter because my goal is to actually destroy it before it actually gets many more hits in on me. That's the end of our Druidess's turn. We'll go into our Asp's turn. Something I should have done at the end of turn is I should have switched these 2 weapons out because we know that that's not going to, she has no more ammo in here. She'd want to move to a weapon that she can actually use. Also remember, I could switch these to a defense at any time, but I think it's really best to take these guys out because they just keep growing in strength. She's going to move 1, 2, how am I going to do this? I think she's going to have to walk into this stuff. Yuck. 2, yep, she is right here. She's going to have to move right into that thing, and she's going to have to take an ecology tech. So we'll roll this up and see how we do. We got a 5. We had to take an ecology 5, so she is totally fine. At this point now, she's going to attack the orange one. Our orange one has a 49 defense. Let's see how she does. She got a 10. She got a 10. That's awesome. So nope, she did not hit anything. Our purple one will now attack our Druidess. Let's see how it goes. It got a 4. It totally missed. Yes, this thing can't hit anything. That's fantastic. We'll move up to the top. The Magus will move 1, 2 to right here, and he's going to use his glaive. Now this glaive does have range 2 and flank 1. So at the range 2, 1, 2, he can hit without having to be in that vile yuck. We'll roll up our dice and see how we do. We got a total of 74. That's going to be way more than what we need to hit. Also, I forgot to tick down this to 4 because of our razor 1, bringing this down to 3. But I'm going to use this die now because I get to do D6 damage to this thing. And since this is a 2-handed weapon, I get to roll both of these and take the better dice. Well, I think I'll take the 5. What do you think? The 5? Yeah, I think we'll take the 5. I get to add 1 to that. So we were able to take out our purple ooze. It is totally dead. Now we have to see what we can do about that red one. Actually, it's an orange one, not red. We're going to remove the token. He's gone. It is now time for our orange one to attack, and it could attack either one of these. So we'll roll up a d6. Even is going to be her. Odd will be her. Even. It is still going to be going after the Druidess. That's just fine. Our Druidess is going to, it is going to be hit for 4, which is going to be the acidic pummel again. She's going to take 2, but then she's going to heal 2 because of that battle recovery card. That's going to be our orange character's turn. It is now our Druidess's turn. Our Druidess will take out her straight edge here and see what she can do with it. She needs to roll this thing's got a lot of health. Should I hit it with that zapper thing again? I don't think so. I think we'll just hit it. And I got a 72, so that's enough. I'm going to do D4 plus 1. Let's roll that up and see how we do here. I did 2 plus 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. I did 4, so we're going to take it down from 30 to 26. Now, I'm not sure if it can go over its max. I don't see why not, because it says it gained the 4 Vita. This monster will also get Razor 1, so there's its 4 damage it's going to have to take. And it does say down here, it is grow in size, gaining 4 Vita, as opposed to recovering 4 Vita. So that's why I believe that it's going to be able to go past its maximum health. Next, our Viper Maiden will go. We'll see how she does against this thing. She got a 56. That's enough to hit, so we'll roll our d4 and see how much damage we're able to do to it. We're able to do 1. We did 1. Now, she also has a damage bonus, and again, like I said, I forgot about them for the very beginning. But we're going to get 2 damage points there, 24. That's the end of her. It's now the Magus's turn. I'm afraid to step the Magus in, but at this point, he's going to be doing range 2. He will be going through her square, which means I'll be taking a negative to my might. It's only -5 to go through a square with somebody in there, as opposed to moving into here and having to take an ecology test. I think we'll take the ecology test. We'll see how this goes. Come on. Pass. Yes, he passed. So he's not going to have to worry about taking any more corruption tokens. Now he can attack with that glaive. So here's our glaive. Funny thing is, I totally forgot I had these. I could have equipped these from a distance and started throwing them instead of moving into that acid area there and potentially taking corrosion. This would have been a pretty good thing to use. I forget he's got some really good weapons. I might give this to somebody else after this encounter. We'll see how this goes. This might go to the Druidess. Let's see how we got here. We got a 61. That is enough to hit, so we get to do D6 damage. Let's see how much we do. We did 4. We did 4 damage, plus 1 is 5. I'll take it. Our foe's going down to 19 health, and now our foe gets to attack. And since all of them are adjacent, it gets to roll to see who it's going to attack. On a 1 or 2, I'm going to say it attacks the Druidess. 3 or 4, it'll be the Magus. All right, it's the Magus. Of course, 5 and 6 would have been the other character, but it's going to attack the Magus. We'll see how this goes. The Magus got hit with an 82, so he is going to take 2. And since this is above an 80, he's also going to gain a corruption token. He is up to 3 corruption tokens. So we'll take his dial down to 19, but that's not the hard part. The hard part is those stupid corruption tokens I keep taking. So we'll put another one down. Our Druidess is next. She will heal back up to 21 because that awesome ability that's sitting out there. I can't believe that's there. This is actually saving her. It's so awesome. We're going to remove her glaive and attack with that razor again. We're also going to put our dial down to 3 here, our little die. He should have taken 1 more point of damage when it became his turn, so he's going to go to 18. Now we'll attack with our razor again. This razor is pretty cool. It does auto damage almost, but it'd be better if I was actually hitting. Now 38 plus her extra might bonus is not going to be enough to hit this guy, so she has missed, which is sad, sad, sad. Next, we're going to have Asp go. Asp will go ahead and attempt to attack with this weapon right here. Let's see how it goes. 82. That's awesome. That does D4 damage. Let's see how much she does. She has another 2 plus 1 is 3. That means our enemy is down to 15 health. We're going to go to the Magus. Come on, this Magus has to hit with that glaive. This glaive is absolutely out of control. I love it. I think we'll be giving this to the Druidess after this. Let's see what he got. A 62. He keeps hitting with this. That's awesome. We'll roll up our 2d6s and see what we get. We got a 5 and a 3. I will take the 5, meaning we did 6. So this thing goes to 9 health. Now it does get to attack, which is too bad. I wonder if I should have moved him. I think I will move him 1 away just so he's not a potential target. I don't want to get any more corruption tokens. He's going to take 1 damage, going down to 8. I'll show you where we did that on the board after this combat. We'll roll this up. On an even, I'm attacking the Druidess. We're going after the Viper Maiden. Let's see how that goes. The Viper Maiden got a 19. That's not enough to hit. The Viper Maiden, it missed the Viper Maiden. Awesome. We'll move into our Ooze's turn, or not the Ooze's turn. We'll move into the Druidess's turn. Come on, Druidess, let's get this thing. 45, which is enough because she gets plus 4 might. So that's a 49. That is a hit for D4 plus 1. She's a total of 2. That's fantastic. But we'll take it. I'll take anything I can get against this thing. So we're down to 6 on him, I believe. And that's it for her. The Razor 1, I guess I should probably just retick it to 4. I think I do that. I think I retick it every time she hits. So we'll put that back up. Now we'll attack with Asp. Asp will go ahead and roll these dice. Let's see how it goes for her. She got a 39, but she gets to add... Oh, she doesn't get to add plus 11 anymore. The weapon she's using right now does not give her any bonus to her might. So she only has plus 6. 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. That's not enough. I need 49 to hit. So she did not get to hit. That's too bad for her. Now we'll move into the Magus. Come on, glaive. Let's see if that glaive can hit. That'd be really good. That glaive does a 22. The glaive missed this time. So now the Ooze gets to attack an odd, or even it will attack the Druidess. It's not. It's going to attack Asp, and it got a 0.7. That means you got a 7. It totally missed. It's going to tick this down to 3 now. And it's going to take 1 damage from this. I need to make sure I keep doing this. That alone could almost kill this thing off. It's down to 5 health. All right, our Druidess is going to try to hit with that razor. Let's see if she does. She got a 62. That's enough to hit him for D4 plus 1. Oh, no, I got another 1. I keep getting 1s. So it's going to go down 3. Actually, I should go down 1, 2, and then 1 more for her damage. I totally forgot again of her damage bonus. I keep forgetting the damage bonuses, which is super important. That's the end of her. We'll move into the... Oh, it's going to be the Magus's turn. He just got to hit with that glaive, and it's all over. A 91 will be totally enough to take out this Ooze. We're going to gain 40 lore each and 12 coins. We'll remove this foe from the map. We're also going to remove our tokens over here because we're going to be putting out new ones when it comes to our next time we're going to go into a battle. That'll be the end of our combat with our evil oozes. Those were something else. Corrosion tokens everywhere. Now I do get to roll to see if I'm able to find a cool looking item or something afterwards. I get to roll these after each encounter. Potentially I can get on a 10, I get something. So he's going to be orange, she'll be white, and she'll be blue. Let's see how it goes. I did not get any 10s, so we did not get to find anything else. And like I said, I did move the Magus out of there, but with range 2, he could still hit. At this point, we will move into, I don't even know whose turn it is, but since there's nothing actually on the board to attack, it's not the end of the world if I just kind of move people as I want. I'm going to move the Druidess to right here, and she's going to go ahead and check out that token. If the group has the green story marker, read Story Moment 53 on page 62. We do not have that. So we're going to read Story Moment 168 on page 69. The dead body is dismembered, both arms missing. Flies and maggots swarm over it, giving you the impression that it has been here for several days. Flip the token over and see what you find. If you find a snare, read Story Moment 140 on page 67. Okay, let's go see what we got. I'm hoping for not a snare. Let's see what we have found behind the dead body here. It says, Ruby, receive D10 times 4 coins. Oh, that's awesome. So roll this up. D10 times 4 is, we have found 12 coins. All right, I'm going to give those right to our Druidess. That brings our Druidess up to 31 coins and 91 lore. Super good. She's so close to passing her next level. We'll move into our next person. I think what we're going to do is I am going to give this to the Druidess. The Magus is going to give this to the Druidess. She's going to equip this, but then she does not have her shield anymore. Maybe that's not a good idea. I think I lied. He's going to keep the glaive. We are going to keep the glaive just because I'd like to keep that shield on her because she gets better defense then. But at this point, I am going to equip these alchemical bombs, and I can trade those out if I need to at some point down the line. Our Viper Maiden is just going to move all the way over to here and check this out. I know that's more moves than she should during a turn, but the other two are just going to kind of stay there and chit-chat for a while. Just kind of hanging out, you know, gossiping about things. It's kind of neat. At this point, we're now going to do our map skill check number 1. We have to do a Trickery 6, which is why I chose the Viper Maiden. She has +1. It says, a rusty steel particle blocks further progress into the sewer. Can you open it? I will find out. We need to roll Trickery 6. Let's roll that die and see how it goes. I got an 8, so we were able to pass that. We are going to read Story Moment 148 on page 68. The portcullis grinds as you slowly force it open. Suddenly, you hear a violent splash behind you. An enormous crocodile emerges from the sewer water. All characters gain an immediate move. If everyone can reach the exit zone during the movement, not including other allies or companions, they may escape to skip secret within the sewer, page 61. Otherwise, immediately encounter a crocodile which appears in the sewer water adjacent to a random character. After combat, skip to secrets within the sewer, page 16. Wow, that's totally awesome. I would have never expected something like that. So we were able to get this open. The problem is we can't all make it there. 1, 2, 3, 4. He could, she could. But check it out. The Druidess and him were having such a nice little conversation here. She can't get by this location here. She steps in there, her movement ends. So she'd have to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she can't make it. So this, I'm going to get attacked by a crocodile. We're going to spawn it next to an adjacent character here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be, of course, next to her. It's going to jump out and attack. Here's our crocodile. He's going to come out. Roar! He's going to come and take this person out. So I'm going to put it right there, and he's going to, look at this, takes up 2 spaces. It's going to totally attack her. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to leave. I'm going to have to, I think we've reshake on these because now it's a new encounter. So we'll put these out in a different order. And of course, we have our crocodile. He's going to be purple. We'll place those out, and then we'll look at his card. So our first person is going to be the Magus. Let's see where he goes. He's at 10. Oh my gosh, he's super pissed. And then we're going to have the Druidess. Our Druidess is at 5, and our Viper Maiden is at 8. That's fantastic. Now, where's the crocodile fall? 1. I love it. Crocodile's down on 1. At this point, I now have to put out my new initiative cards and my faux tactic cards. So we'll give our faux tactics card a good old truffle shuffle here and draw a card and see what it is. It is stealthy. All right, we'll see what that is if it actually plays into effect. It's going to be F1. I'm going to place its little token for it right there. Then I'm going to place the actual token on the board. Let's see where this token is going to fall. It's going to fall on number 10, way up up here, so we are not going to see this. He's not able to get up there. It's not going to happen. Next, we're going to take our initiative deck and give that a good old truffle shuffle here so that we can see what our next initiative card is going to be. It's going to be Arcane, Accurate Aim. So +8 might and +2 ammo. That'd be so good for our Viper Maiden. Let's see if that happens. We'll roll up where it's supposed to go. It goes at 10. Wow, that's hilarious. They're both up there. Everything's up at the top. So we'll place that C1 right up here. We'll put our 2 cards here. I don't think we're going to ever see any of these. So there we go. They're all at number 10. So he has the plus to might, which is really good because we might need it. Let's check out our Crocodile. Here's our Crocodile. He has 31 health. He gets +5 to attack. Its defense is 51. And look at this. It has a special power. The Crocodile's thick hide gives it absorption 1. It will always target the character with the least power points. Right now, the least power points is our Druidus, which actually is kind of good. It has some powers down here. Now, one we haven't talked about is charged. The way charged works is whenever this thing actually hits, it's going to gain a charge token, and then he can use those to actually perform this super power over here. Hopefully, it doesn't happen. Starting with our Magus, he is going to move 1 away, so he is within range 2 and attack with that glaive. Oh, he can't. He's got his bombs on. I told him he put the bombs on. So we'll use the bombs first, then I'll probably switch to that glaive. With this Crocodile's absorption 1, I think our best bet is to play this. I'm going to go down 1 power point to 5, and that way I'll be able to play this card right here. Add a corrosion token to your attack before making the attack roll. Of course, that does mean I have to hit in order for this to actually work, but we'll see what we do here. Hopefully we'll get it. We got an 83. That is enough. So we're going to do our damage, which is D4. So we'll go ahead and roll that. We got a 3. Now it does say it has burst 1, and it adds a corrosion token on attack rolls of 80+. So that's kind of funny that I did it anyway. I totally forgot about that, but that's okay. I'm going to spend a power point to make sure that corrosion token sticks. So that means whenever our enemy activates, he is going to be taking 1 point of damage, and that will really help. But of course, our hit did actually succeed, so we're going to do damage as it is. Our Crocodile does start with 31, and we did 3 + 1 is 4 because we get a damage bonus, so we're really only doing 3, knocking him down to 0, 9, 8, what? Let's see if I did that right. 1, 2, 3. There we go. We're at 28. Perfect. I can do math. One thing I forgot is our Magus is up at the top, so he actually would have gotten +8 might and +2 ammo to that, so he actually has a whole bunch more. The last thing we have to do is our attack did do burst 1, which means that it will affect all adjacent squares with the number, and ours is 1. On top of that, it also is going to do all status ailments as well. So I'm going to be gaining a corrosion token for Tala, and she's going to take 1 damage from the burst. Now, of course, whenever she activates, she's also going to take 1 from the corrosion token. Oh, couldn't have gone any worse for that. Our Viper Maiden will go next, and she's just going to turn around and fire 1, 2, 3 right at that Crocodile. There's nobody blocking her path, and that's okay because her bow actually does have true. And she gets it recharged back up to her 3 ammo because this is a brand new encounter. Let's roll up our attack and see if we're able to hit our TikTok Croc. We got a 93. We did hit the TikTok Croc, and we're going to do 1d4 + 1 damage to it. Now it does have that absorb 1, so it's only going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 1 is 3 damage, but that's okay. I'll take it. We're going to bring him down to 25. All right. Having thrown the bombs, we're going to switch back out to the glaive. Characters can trade and switch weapons amongst themselves, but if you look at where it falls in the activations, it's number 7 up here, and it says this can only be performed at the very end of their turn after all other actions. So now we've completed everything else, now we can switch out our weapon back to this glaive and hopefully do some major damage to that Croc. Next, we'll move into our Druidus' turn. She's going to take 1 damage from the corrosion token and then tick it to a 3. On top of that, she's going to switch her attack token to defend. She's going to grab that defend token. She gets -10 might, but she gets +10 defense. She still has her straight razor that she's going to be using, so we are going to fire or use that to try to hit this Crocodile. Let's see how this goes. I got an 8. So I'm glad I changed my defense because that was going to hit no matter what I did. So she is done. We're going to move into our Croc's turn, and our crocodile is going to try to attack Tala because she has the lowest amount of power points with 3. So he's going to do a melee attack. Let's see how this goes. We'll roll him up. It got a 41, and she normally only has a 34 defense, but with her thing here, she gets 39 defense. He's going to get +5, so he would have hit us, but I gave myself 10 defense. So do I not have 39? I've got 49. So he's only going to get a total of 46. He has missed me. That's awesome. He is going to lose 1 damage from his corrosive token, bringing himself to 24. So he's going to go down to a 3. From where we stand, I'm going to have the Magus attack with his glaive. I'm going to have our Druidess attack with her. Oh, she's going to switch this out. At the end of her turn, just like we did with the Magus, I'm going to switch back to her Silver Sickle. The reason I'm doing that is the Silver Sickle does do +1 damage against nature foes, and this is a nature foe. And we're going to also attack with Asp from right here. So let's go ahead and make those 3 attacks, and then of course we'll follow it with our Crocodile. We will start with our Magus. He will roll up his glaive and see how it goes. He got an 86. That's awesome. So he will definitely hit. We'll take 2d6, roll him up, and take the best number. Let's see what we get. We got 6. That's perfect. So we were able to do 7 damage, but he is able to soak up 6 of that, meaning he's going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 18 health. That's fantastic. And now we're going to move into Asp's turn. Asp will fire her bow, bringing her ammo down to 1, and let's see if she can also hit this crocodile. She's going to roll it up. She got a 56, which will turn into a 67, I believe, with her total 11 plus to might, which is fantastic. So she's going to do D4 points of damage to this crocodile. She did 1, but she's going to get an extra 1 from the bow and 1 from herself, so that's a total of 1, 2, 3, and we'll bring his total down to 1, 2, 3, 15. Perfect. Her attack is over. It's now time for Tala, the Druidess. She's going to tick her token down to a 3, she's going to take it down to a 2, I believe, and she's going to take another point of damage from that corrosive stuff. Oh, I hate corrosive. We're down to 18 on her dial. Let's see if we can take him out, though, with this. She gets to use, what is it? Oh, she's got this one, the Silver Sickle. Let's roll this up and see how she does. She got a 95. That is unbelievable, considering she's still got the +10, -10 might, so it's an 85. She hit the TikTok Croc with this awesome sickle. Wow, what a great set of damage here. She's going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So she'll do 5 points of damage. We'll tick that down to a 10, but then it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 because of his absorption 1. So he has done that. It's now our Crocodile's turn. Our Crocodile will attempt to hit Tala. First, he's going to take 1 point of damage from the corrosive attack, meaning it's going down to a 10. And let's roll him up and see how he does. He got a 72, and even with the +10 defense, I think that's going to be enough to hit because she only has a total of 49. So he hit her with number 2. Let's take a look at what number 2 says here. It says, maul prey. The crocodile clamps its jaws onto you, causing D6 damage. All right, let's see how much damage. 3. That's not too bad. I'll tick her dial down to 15, and we'll continue on. I think we're just going to stay right where we are and make our attacks. So we'll start our attacks with the Magus. He's going to roll up his dice and see how he does. He got a 62. That is enough to hit this guy. That's awesome. He gets to roll his 2d6s and see how it goes. He got a total of 4. I guess we'll take 4 because he can't get any better than that. So we'll get a total of 4, 5. But then it is going to be 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This crocodile is now at 6 health. Oh my gosh. Our Asp does have 1 more ammo she can fire, and she'll be out for the bow. So let's see how she does. She's going to take a shot. She got a 36. Adding in, nope, it's not going to be enough. He's got a defense of 55, so he has missed. All right, that brings us to our Druidess, who is going to take another point of damage, going down to 14, and her corrosion token is now ticked down to 1. She'll roll her dice. She needs to hit. Come on, let's get this guy. She got a total of 0, 6. So that's a good old 6 that missed. He's going to take 1 damage from the corrosive token, bringing himself down to 5. So at this point, he's no longer taking any damage from corrosive. We've got to actually hit this guy. But he's going to try to hit our Druidess first. Let's see how that goes. Oh, he gets a charge token because he did hit. So we have to make sure we get a charge token on that after this attack. And he got a 30. So he totally missed that as well. These are the charge tokens. I'm going to place it right over there. So he does have 1 charge token for hitting 1 time, but sadly or not sadly, but that's the only thing he's done. After she had fired with this bow, she would have switched out to this weapon right here so that she can charge in an attack. But we'll start again right here with Kenzo. He's going to attack with his glaive. Let's see how it goes. He got a 93. That's enough to hit with the glaive. Oh, this could be it if we get a high enough number. Let's see, we got a 3. Well, whenever I roll 2 dice, I get the same number. So we're going to do 3 more damage. He's going to go down to 2. Oh, I really wish I had corrosive right now. At this point, I am going to have our Viper Maiden move on in, and we'll move her on the board after we finish this combat. So she's going to roll up her attack and see how it goes. We got an 8, so that failed. Our Crocodile will go ahead. Oh, no, first we get to go with our Druidess. Our Druidess gets to attack first. Let's see how she does. Well, she better get a high number. Oh, she got a 91. That's going to be enough. Oh, I think this is going to be it. She gets to roll a d4. She got 2 plus 3 is 5 minus 1 is 4. So, oh my gosh, we took out the Crocodile with this absorption 1 and everything. And he only got 1 charge token. He actually hit us once. Wow, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with the way Tala is becoming a fantastic tank, even though I don't really think I built her like that. For defeating the TikTok Croc, we are all going to gain 20 lore and 5 coins. We also get to roll to see if we're able to find anything. We'll roll for our Druidess first. She found nothing. We'll roll for our Magus. He found nothing. And then lastly, we'll roll for Asp. Sorry, she found nothing as well, but so close. But we got 20 lore, which is fantastic. That puts us over the limit on a couple people. Now that that encounter is complete, we're going to move into the next area. We're going to leave everybody the way they are. He is still going to have his glaive. She's going to have her silver sickle. She's going to have her bow equipped. We're going to move into the next area. I'm just going to move all our characters this way now that I know that there's nothing else that's going to spawn. That's fantastic. Mental note, when you're about to leave a map, make sure everybody's up there next to him. Don't just hang out up there and just have her check a skill check, because otherwise a giant alligator could jump out of this pit and try to attack you. We'll be moving into secrets within the sewer. You make your way past the rusted portcullis and marvel that the smell is getting even worse. The muck is far denser to slog through here, but all is not hopeless. You see torchlight flickering from around the bend. Your heart rises, but then you hear a faint scream ahead, echoing through the sewers. What madness is this? We'll set up our next map, and since we did do a map transition, we'll be passing our token to the next player. So that means it is now Tala's turn in order to be leader yet again in the sewers. We've set this up. There's a little search here. There's a trigger line here. If we cross that, something will happen. We have a couple places that we can search. I don't know what this is. This is some red little mark here. We do have the ladder going out, and we have a dead body. That is what's going to be on this map. Let's go ahead and read what our objectives are. On this map, we have this thing we have to take care of. It says all characters must pass an ecology 4, gain an infection token, hate infection tokens. Any character moving into green sewer water must pass an ecology 5 or gain an infection token. I don't like infection tokens. Whenever you move into a space full of sewer water, your movement ends, so it's very similar to the last one. So we're going to have to do this ecology 4 as we go onto this map. Our primary goal is that we must reach the end of the sewer and exit via the ladder token. Once any one character passes the trigger line, read story mode 5 on page 59. One of our optional goals is that skill check we saw with awareness 6. It says here, you see a large crack in the sewer wall and with a cloth wrapped object stuffed inside it. What could it be? We could check awareness 6 to find out. Who knows? I'm sure it's, what's the worst thing that could happen? A crocodile jumps out? Another of the Atomus victims, flip over this token to see what you find. If you find a snare, read story mode 66 on page 62. Investigate all search locations are also optional goals. It'll be time to set up our initiative track because we're moving into another map. Let's roll our die and see where our people go. We'll start with our leader. That is going to be Tala. She is going to be at 5, right in the middle there. That's fantastic. Then Kenzo. Kenzo is going to be at 7. He always likes to go real first. Then Asp, let's see where she goes. 3. Oh man, that's no good. Now we do get to put an initiative card out, and actually with our guys all spread up like that, one of them might be able to pounce on this initiative card. You can spend a power point to move up and down this track if you wish to. So we'll give them a truffle shuffle, see which one we get. We've got Stabilize. It says, as above, but ecology 7 and 2 successes are allowed. It's okay. Let's see what it says above. On your turn, pass an ecology 8 to recover D4 Vita or D4 power points. 1 success is allowed. Wow, that's amazing. Power points are so hard to get back in this game, even though it has improved now with these new additions. Let's see where it falls. It falls on 8. Oh, it's so close to where Kenzo is. So it's going to go right there. We'll place that with our card right there. Now we have to put our foe tactic out. Actually, I'm going to wait on the foe tactic because we don't have any foes yet, and hopefully we don't find any. We'll place our characters right down here. I'm going to put her over here, and I'll put our other 2 characters right over here. So we'll start with her. She's the leader. Oh, no, not her. It's Kenzo. Kenzo on the track. 1, 2, 3, 4 up here. Then we'll move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's pretty fast, and she's going to move up 4 as well. That's going to be the end of our first turn. Moving into our second turn, we're just kind of moving on down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kenzo will stop right there. A lot of screen. Asp's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to right here, and she is going to do this skill check. She's going to take an awareness 6. Of course, the reason I'm doing that with her is because Asp does have +2 when it comes to awareness, so hopefully she'll be pretty aware of what's inside here. Let's roll this up and see what we get. We got a 4, 5, 6, and we needed to make an awareness 6. Since we were successful, we're going to read story moment 156 on page 68. The object is jammed into the wall. You manipulate it, pulling it back and forth until it finally comes free. I get to gain an item. As soon as the crack is clear, a small cluster of rats rushes out, swarming over you. Oh, that's terrible. Receive 2 snare damage. Oh, and it's Aura 2. I think that's going to affect all of us. If we look here, from the point where this was actually triggered, that is going to be affecting all of our characters. We're all going to take 2, meaning Tala is going to go down to 12, and Kenzo is going to go to 17. That's too bad. And this is the first time she's taken any damage. She's going to go down to 19. That's no good. But I do get to gain an item. So we'll take the top card off of our item deck and see what we have found. It is going to be, we found a stiletto, flank 1 +4 might. It's a one-handed weapon. This might not be bad. It's actually going to go onto Asp, which is a little bit better. I get +4 might, but this one, of course, gets to let a foe re-roll their die. So we're going to hold on to both of these. We might sell one. We'll see how it goes. But we did find that in the crack along with, well, 2, 4, 6 damage. So we found 6 damage and an item that's slightly better than what we have. Now, of course, I just realized Tala should have gone first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but she still would have been within 2 when that was triggered when Asp sprung it. She's going to check out this token. Maybe she can get something awesome as well. So let's roll up a die. She needs a 7, 8. Okay, 5 does not get her anything. 1 through 3 is a trap. 5 through 7 is nothing, and 8 through 10 is something. 5 is nothing. That's totally fine. We're going to go back into Kenzo's turn. Kenzo's going to move to here and then wait. Asp is, or then it's Tala's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She'll move up to there. Asp will move to here. Then we're going to let him, he's going to hold his action. She's going to hold her action, and we're going to move on with Tala. Tala's going to move to right there. And at this point, this is where we're going to go into our next turn. And Kenzo is going to go first. He will cross that line, and we will read Story Moment 5. Story Moment 5 states, illuminated by the flickering torchlight, the crouched figure of the anatomist moves into view. He is dissecting one of his victims on the reeking sewer floor. You are appalled at the grotesque madness of the sight. Anybody within sight of the ladder becomes spooked 6. We'll have to deal with that. Also, it says, this monster must be stopped at any cost. You run toward him, but he catches you out of the corner of his eye, scoops up a piece of carved flesh, and dashes toward the ladder, escaping into the city. From the corner, a hulking mass rises, spreading its 4 arms wide and flexes its patchwork muscles. Its maw drops open crookedly, and muttering a dark oath, it lunges towards you. We're going to encounter a flesh construct who will appear on the spawn token. Once the encounter is complete, the group may exit via the ladder token and skip to City Search on page 17 in Chapter 3. First, we have to see who's going to be Spook 6. Well, I guarantee it's Kenzo. Kenzo's going to take a Spook 6 test, but I'm not sure about Tala. Let's take a look. We're going to use our little line here. She might be, but she might not. We'll take a look. I think it's going to cross through that. Yep, she cannot see it. It's only going to be Kenzo. So Kenzo's been in charge of taking all of these weird tests. So he's going to take a Spook 6. He got a 4. That means he is going to be spooked. So he is going to gain this token right here. It's the spooked token. He'll receive -5 might and -1 nerve. He can try to pass a nerve 6 test at the end of each combat to attempt to remove this token. But for now, he gets -5 might. That's terrible because he's got the best weapon. At this point now, we're going to spawn our monster right there. I was kind of wondering how they were going to incorporate this guy. Here he is. He's right here. Looks like Goro out of Mortal Kombat or something. Here we go. Put him down, and we're going to try to take this guy on. Sadly, the person that our tank that we've been using is way over here, and it's got to run through the muck. Yuck. Oh, I hate yuck muck. Now we're going to place our Foe Tactics card out onto the battlefield here. So we'll give this a good old truffle shuffle here. Mix them up, and we'll see what Foe Tactic we have. We have Jailer. Take a random militia companion from your foes as hostage. If a hit would reduce you to less than 5 vita, but it does not kill you, the companion is killed instead of you being hit. If the hit kills you, the companion is returned. Okay, well, hopefully none of that happens. I don't have any companions, so that's not really going to play into effect. But we'll see where this is placed on the row here. It's going to be number 3. That's a nice place for it. And we're going to see where he goes. He will be Foe Purple. So I'll roll it up, and he's... Oh, no, he's going to go right on number 3. That's terrible. Well, let's just not get hurt by him too much here. He'll go right there. So he is technically our Jailer. That's fantastic. Let's take a look at our Flesh Construct. He's going to start with 37 life. He doesn't have any extra to his might. That's fantastic, because I don't think I've ever remembered to add that. He's got 50 defense. He strides 4. We get some lore and coins. He's got a special power where he is immune to the abilities and weapon with the psychic keyword, and to map hazards such as flame snares, traps, etc., and it can never lose a turn. It has some cool powers over here. This is not a nature creature, so I will not be getting the bonus from my sickle, which means we might have to switch out for that razor blade. One thing I forgot to do when we entered this map is we all had to take a Ecology 4 test. So we're going to do that really quick. We're going to start with Asp. Asp's totally fine. We'll go to Kenzo. Kenzo got a 7. He's totally fine. And then lastly, we got her 2. But luckily, she's got 2 Ecology, so she was able to save and got no infection tokens. At this point, we will now continue Kenzo's turn. He moved 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to move right to there, and he's going to attack with that glaive. We'll see what he can do. It looks like he's going to turn to Mr. Tank here. He's going to add this to it. He's going to use 1 power point to add a corruption token to your attack before making the attack roll. That's going to bring his power points down to 4, which is fine because he's standing at that point. Always 1 away from that point where he could gain that extra awesome bonus might from the stabilize. Oh wait, we can gain Vita or power points, not might. That's what it was. With his glaive, he needs to get a big number in order to hit this guy. He got a 73. That's way big enough to hit him. Even with his -5 might, he was able to hit this flesh golem construct. So that means he's going to gain this corruption token, which is awesome. And let's see how much damage we do. Come on, 6. Look at this. We got 2 4s again. We always keep getting the same number when it comes to this weapon. He starts with a total might of 37. So we're going to do 5 damage to him. That will bring his life total down to, if I could do some math here, we'll just take it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. He's at 32. Fantastic. We'll move into our next player's turn. Next is Tala's turn. She's going to move 1, 2, 3. I don't really want to step in there, but I have to get over here. 3. Oh, yuck. Should I have her come all the way around? I don't know. I think we'll just move right here. 4 to right there. That's totally fine. She's going to have to make another move into that next turn. She's going to have to take an Ecology 5 check. She's totally fine. She got an 8. That's great. 8 is great. She's going to switch out her weapon now to a razor at the end of her turn because there's nothing else she can really do right now. Though she does have the ability to zap him really good with lightning. But I think I'm about to get beat up really bad, so I'm going to save it because I might have to restore some people instead. So that's the end of her turn. We'll move to Asp's turn. And since this isn't an affliction and we're not in darkness, we get to go before this creature. 1, 2, 3, and she's going to move here 4, and she's also going to have to take an Ecology test. There's a reason I did that. She got a 5, so she's just fine. If you make an ranged attack adjacent to a melee character, you'll actually lose some of your might. So let's shoot from right there. She'll roll up her attack and see how it goes. She got a 94. I'm going to tick that down. So she got way more than she's ever going to need in her entire life to hit this thing. We'll roll a d4 and see how well it goes. I should have done this. She's got a power as an assassin. I should have been using that. I totally forgot about. Each round of an encounter, you may discard any... here it is. Mistress of Poison. At the start of an encounter, you may spend 2 power points to gain 2 corrosion tokens, or spend 3 power points to gain 4 corrosion. Actually, I'm not going to do that because we've already got the corrosion token on them. So never mind, I lied. We're not going to do that at all. So I'm glad I didn't do it. I fooled you all. We're going to go with a 4. Wow, that's 5. 6, that's 6 damage. That's fantastic. This thing's going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And after all of that talking that I did, let's go on to somebody else's turn. It's going to be this guy's, the Flesh Construct's turn. And since he doesn't have anything on his card on who he attempts to target, he will just target the person that's the closest to him with his melee attack. That's going to be Kenzo. We'll roll up his dice and see how he does against Kenzo. Come on, Kenzo, block this. 84, you didn't even come close. But 4 is going to be the roll here. It says grapple. The construct grabs you and squeezes. Lose D10 less your damage bonus and become fractured 4. Oh my gosh, that's a massive damage buff here. He's going to take 8 minus 1 from his damage bonus. He's going to take 7 damage. He's going to go down to 10. Oh my gosh, this guy's out of control. He did 10 damage, and I have to make a fractured 4 test. Okay, I passed that at least. All right, let's see who's next. I think we're going to start at the beginning. Here's where we are. We're going to have to start with Kenzo, who is adjacent to this monstrosity here. Then we'll move into Tala's turn, and lastly we have Asp. And then this giant guy gets to go again. And if he did 10 damage last turn, I'd hate to see what he does this time. Well, he didn't do 10 damage, but he had the potential to do 10 damage. One thing I forgot to do was damage him from the corrosive thing. So he's going to go down to 25. He's going to go take this third one. Also, he gains a charge token because he did hit that last time. So I'm going to put the charge token right over here. Let's see if we can hit with our giant glaive of death. That thing's awesome. We are not able to hit with the giant glaive of death. We only got a 30, which is sad. That's okay. Now we're going to move into Tala's turn. Tala at this point is going to move 1 step down. So she's going to stay in the muck. She's going to take an ecology roll. And she got a 1 plus 2 is 3. That's not enough. She's going to gain her second corruption token. Or sorry, her second infected token. So we'll place that down on her map. She now has 2. But I had to keep her there because if she's going to spend 2 power points to do this, she's going to restore 1d6 Vita to all characters within Aura 1. And that's going to be our Fleshbind Vortex. It can be used once per round and costs 2 power points. So she now has 1 power point remaining. Oh, I hope we get to recover our power points at the end of this. She's going to heal all of these people for D6. I'm just going to roll 1 die and hope we get a high number, and that'll be the roll we get. We got a 4 plus 1. So everybody's going to gain 5 back. That will put our Druidess at 17. That means it's going to be, she's going to go back to full. She's barely taken any damage. She's back at 21. Now, I can't get more than that, than your maximum. But now the big one is he's going to go back up to 15, which is really going to help. Because if he gets hit again, potentially for 10 damage, he's going to not want to take that and hopefully survive. Using an ability does not mean I can't attack, so she's going to go ahead and roll some dice and see how she does. She got an 86, so she hit the Flesh Construct. We're going to place a 4 right here. I believe she's able... This is not a psychic weapon, so Razor 1 still fires off. We'll roll our d4 and see how we do. We did a total of 2 plus 2 is 4 damage. So he's going to be going down to 21 damage. That's going to be perfect. So she has completed her turn. It's going to be Asp's turn next. Asp is going to use her bow. It has 1 shot left. She'll roll up her dice and see how it goes. All right, this is going to be great. Come on, get him. We got a 63. That is, again, enough to hit this guy. Let's roll a d4. We got a 4. That's perfect. So this foe is going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 1, 2, and he's going to go down to 15 health. And then it's going to be his turn, which means he's going to take 1, 2, 1 from the corruption and 1 from the razor. Wow, this team is really working really well. I'm really excited about this. Let's see what he does, though. He's going to target Kenzo and probably wreck his day. Hopefully not, but we'll see how this goes. I'm going to take our 2 dice and we'll roll them up and see what we get. We got a total of 46. That's probably going to be enough. Poor Kenzo only has a a 36 defense. He does anything that's going to help him. So 6 is not grapple this time. This one is must smash. It becomes enraged and attacks all adjacent enemies in a frenzy for 2d4 damage. So the only two people adjacent to him are going to be Kenzo and Tala. So we'll roll 2d4 and see how much damage they take. 3 plus 4 is 7 each. They're going to take 7 each. I could roll them individually. I just roll them as one roll just because it's easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's down to 8 health. We need to take this guy out. She's also going to take 7, bringing her down to 10. Oh my gosh, that was a massive hit. That's horrible. All right, let's continue forward. Now we don't have any more arrows with Asp, so Asp is going to have to switch to one of these. I think she's going to switch to this one, the stiletto. So she's going to take the stiletto and put it in her left hand, and she'll put the bow back in her pack. He did hit again, so he's going to gain another charge token, and we'll move into Kenzo's turn. Kenzo is going to, not much, oh, I forgot about this. You can use this as well sometime if I need to. Kenzo's going to use his glaive here, and let's see how this goes. He's going to roll his 2 dice. Hopefully he gets it. Come on, we need a big number here. 6. He rolled a 6. That's not big. That's the end of his turn. We'll move into our Druid's turn. Druidess is going to roll up her dice. She got a total of 49. That's enough. I needed only 50, and she has an innate +4 to her might. So she was able to hit, meaning she can do d4 plus 1. She did 3. This is going to tick back to 4, I believe, because I was able to hit again with my Razor 1. So he's not at 21 anymore. He's going to be, or sorry, he's at 13. I grabbed the wrong dial. He's going to take 1, 2, 3 from her. Oh, 4 from her because she has the +1 might. There we go. Then he's at 9. I don't have any ability to heal anybody unless I want to use a bandage, which I might do. She's got only 1. No, we're good. Actually, yeah, she's going to use a bandage. She's going to use 1 bandage, which is going to heal 4 Vita to Kenzo. He's going to use it on Kenzo because he's adjacent to Kenzo. 1, 2, 3, 4, bringing him back up to 12. Reason I'm doing that is there is a potential for this thing to do about 10 damage if he could, and that would probably kill her. He should have taken 2 damage from the razor and everything. I think I forgot to do that, but that's okay. We're going to continue on here. We'll roll with, it's going to be Asp's turn. Asp is going to move in, and she's going to roll her stiletto here. She gets +4 might and a flank 1 because she's adjacent to something else. So it got a 29. That's not enough to hit this guy, even with all the extra. Oh, that's so sad. Well, he's going to take 2 damage here. 1, 2 from the corrosion and from the razor, which I threw over here. Then he's going to attack somebody. He's going to attack Kenzo. Oh no, he could attack anybody at this point. He could have done that last time too. I totally mistaken. He could have attacked the Druidess. We're going to roll a d6. 1 to 2 is Kenzo. 3 to 4 is the Druidess. 1, oh, it's just got this thing for Kenzo. Let's see how it goes. It got a 26. It totally missed Kenzo. That's exactly the opening I needed. It's time to take this guy out. All right, Kenzo, you can do it. You've got this glaive. You're spooked. That's okay. You don't care about the fact that you're spooked? Yeah, I guess you do. You're kind of spooked. You're going to stay spooked. We're going to go now with our Druidess. Let's see how she does. She's got, oh, she got a 100. That's a fantastic hit. So what that means is I get to get back either 1, I get to move or act again, or I can gain all my power points back. And I'm totally going to gain back my 5 power points because that's going to be amazing. And I still get to do my damage. Now, it doesn't add any extra damage bonus, but getting back the power points is absolutely ridiculously good. And we did 3 plus 2 is 5 damage. That's probably really close to taking this guy out. We'll tick this down. 1, 2, 3. And then, wait, he's at 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's at 2, and that's going to be fantastic no matter what happens here. I can go ahead and attack with Asp. That's fine. Asp is going to make an attack. She got a 52. That is enough to hit, so she's going to do d4, which is going to be 3. That is enough to take him down. He's going to go to 0, and we have defeated this giant flesh construct of death. And so we're going to gain 20 lore and 7 coins. This guy can attack super brutal. Look at these damage things. And look at this. With 3 charges on it, it can do a no standard move. The construct charge, stride 6, passing through as many characters as possible to hit its target. Those it passes through lose d4 plus 1 Vita. The target loses d4 2d4 Vita. Wow, that's absolutely ridiculous. He can do a lot of damage just running through you. And look at and those 2 powers are just bad. I didn't even get to worry about the front kick. It does 2d6 and push 6. Oofda. This guy's nuts. All right, so we're going to gain our lore and our coins. Our construct is dead. We'll remove him from the board. I have now... It's time for, I think it's Kenzo's turn. He's going to stay here. Basically what I'm going to do is I think we're going to send Tala 1. Then she's going to check out the body. I do have to take an ecology check, and the reason I'm moving her is because she has that bonus to ecology. She's totally fine. Let's see what our dead body token is. If it's a snare, I have to read something. It is gold. Gain 2 power points. Elixir, gain 2 power points. All right, well, I already have full power points. It's not going to help too much. She's then going to move 1, 2, and then it takes 2 movement to go up this ladder, but that's okay. There's nothing else really on this map I have to worry about, so we're good. We're going to go off the ladder and see what happens. The book tells us to move into search the city on page 17, which is going to be the beginning of chapter 3, which we are going to do in the next video. There are only a few things we have left to do. One is we defeated an encounter. Let's see if we find anything. We'll start with Kenzo here. Kenzo did not find anything. Asp did not find anything. And lastly, we have our Druidess. She did not find anything either. We also have enough lore for all of us to go up in level, but we'll do that in the next video because this video is getting to be quite long after fighting a whole bunch of people and running through the sewers. This was fantastic. We're chasing this guy down. He escaped with a body part. That's something. Oh, I also get to attempt to get rid of my spooked here. So we're going to roll that as well for Kenzo. Let's see how he does. He got a 9. He was able to remove his spooked status. That's fantastic. Now he still has 3 corrupt infection tokens. That's not awesome. But hopefully we'll get rid of those at some point. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the playthrough of Folklore, the Affliction, Fall of the Spire. We're in chapter 1. This is absolutely fantastic. I love Folklore, as you can see by how many times I've brought this to my channel. It's such a fun game. We're going to be moving into the 3rd chapter, and we're going to continue going through the city. We're going to search in the city. We're going to see if we can finally find this guy. If you are enjoying the playthrough, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so we'll see you know when the next part of this playthrough comes out. Also, please feel free to leave anything in the comments below. I would love to hear from everyone. And we're going to be moving into that next chapter. So if you're excited to see how our characters do, then I need you to meet me at the co-op shop.